Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be episode 4 of the beginners trapping series, and in this episode we're going to talk baits and lures, when to use them, what's a good bait, what's a bad bait, all these different things. A lot to talk about this, but I'm going to try to keep it brief. There is no one perfect lure. There is no one perfect bait. I'm not a bait maker. I'm not sponsored by anybody. None of this stuff makes me any money if you go buy it. So I'm just going to tell you what I like and what I like to use, and it's really not brand specific. It's type of bait, type of lure per time of season. So let's hop right into it. Also, you might notice I got some bonehead trapping hats. Just got some made, just kind of testing them out. None of them are for sale. If enough people show interest in it, maybe we'll do something further on down the line. But let's get into the episode. All right, so let's hop into this. I'm going to just glaze over this next part just to be real fast about it. Coon traps, I don't spend a lot of money or a lot of effort trying to buy coon lure or a specific coon bait. I normally just use fishy smelling things, so fishy smells like fish oil, something like that, sweet smelling things. That is what I have a lot of good luck catching raccoons on. If you use really stinky baits or stinky lures towards the beginning of season, you're going to catch lots of those kind of critters. You're going to catch a lot of coons, possums, and skunks. So we're going to leave those ones behind. What I'm going to talk about is your coyotes, your bobcats, your fox. So that's what's in my area. And I imagine towards the beginning of season, which for us would be the end of October, I like to use a curiosity lure. Now they have 3 main types: curiosity lure or food lure, a gland lure, and then a long distance call lure, an LDC. You'll see that on certain things. So beginning of season, I'm using things like this. This is from Sawmill. It is C4. It is a mouse-based food lure. Anything mouse-based is very good, so you could use this. This is a lure form, but they sell plenty of different baits that have mouse in it. That is a great bait, in my opinion, early season. Now, all these things could work all throughout the season, but I've noticed my best success early. They like those mice. It's not a very strong rotten smell, and it's something that they're used to eating. That's a food source they look for all year long. So this is a great bait to pick up, or lure. So anything mouse related. So, but the idea of a curiosity lure is normally something that's not overpowering. Now this one is a food call lure for fox, coyote, bobcat, and raccoon. This is Cavens Canine Force. And I apologize that some of my labels are so messed up and tattered and torn. They definitely get used. So in my experience, the food and the curiosity lures work really good early in the season. And then quickly I start moving to adding gland lure also. I catch a lot of my canines on lure sets alone. So for example, whenever I go put traps out, normally if it's good enough for 1 trap, it's good enough for 2, it's good enough for 3. So whenever you find an area that you believe those coyotes or those fox or those bobcats are running through, you're normally setting more than 1 trap. I normally like to set 1 with a dirt hole with something stinky down in the hole and really has a lot of eye appeal. And then I like to make another set close to it that is a lot softer. And I really like putting a gland lure or even a urine onto one of those sets. When I do that, it seems like I have a lot better success, especially with fox and coyotes, but I have a lot better success catching that animal. So the second kind of lure I like to use the most is a gland lure, and there's a lot of different types. This here is timber from Cavens. It is a beaver call / gland lure. So this is things you'd put on a beaver caster set. But here is the all-time staple that you're going to want to use on your trap line. Ruby red or any kind of red fox gland. It seems like every single predator that you're going after is interested in what a red fox is doing. So I've caught gray fox, bobcats, coyotes, raccoon, all the critters that you can catch. I've caught it with just a red fox gland. This is one of the best things you can get. So if you're a brand new trapper, you're looking for a gland lure to buy and you can't decide, pick up some red fox. It's definitely going to work for you. I also like to buy bobcat gland. I think it's just a little bit different. It's a change up, and it seems like sometimes that'll get a coyote to commit to a set when normally they wouldn't. Beaver caster, like the timber, I use it, yes, to catch beavers, but even just beaver castoreum like this, or even caster that you pull out of your own beaver, seems like every single predator is very interested in that smell. So just using a little bit of beaver caster and stuff. I know that they put beaver meat into baits and sometimes beaver caster. That stuff really works to get there, but certain brands will freeze when it gets really cold. So all these brands that you see on the table do not freeze when the weather gets cold. Now I'm talking Pennsylvania cold. If you're up in the Arctic, that might be a different story, but Pennsylvania cold, doesn't happen. One of the urines that I like to use, just because of the size of the container mainly, is Dunlap's Hot Shot. They have Hot Shot Red Fox, Coyote, Bobcat, Gray Fox, and maybe some other ones. They have this Hot Shot version, and then they have a winterized Hot Shot version. I've never really had an issue with this freezing up, but if you are in a colder climate than I am, winterized urine might work better for you. And I've had, you know, great brand makers, like they make great baits and stuff, but their urine will freeze up on me, and I've never had a problem with any of Dunlap's stuff when it comes to freezing. So he makes really good quality stuff. So does Cavens, and I don't know if I think both of these from Hoosier, but their labels fell off. Hoosier Trapper Outdoors, they make great stuff. So when it comes to trapping early season, I'm doing my Curiosity, my food type lures. Then I'm moving to a Gland lure. And then later in the season, as it gets colder, I mean like really, really cold, it's when I start using it seems like the lures that everybody always wants to talk about. So I'll just get it over with. I use Hellfire. This one is, you see it all the time. People swear by it. And then Gusto. These are my two go-to long distance call lures. I like using both of these lures for different reasons. Gusto is actually my favorite. I think that this stuff it's got what it takes to get the attention of just about any critter in the area. Every time I put Gusto out, I almost have instantaneous response. Might not catch something right away, but it seems like an animal that night is always going to come and check out this trap. So there's something about this smell that really gets their attention. Cavens Gusto, when they send this to you, it's going to be individually wrapped. Don't open it inside, you know. I'm telling you, it stinks, so do not open that kind of stuff inside. And then you've got the Hellfire. I wanted to show you something with it, too. I got two of the same exact bottle here from Hellfire. They're two different colors. I'll show you why. This bait is more of a smear bait. So it's like a gelatinous kind of bait. You can put it on a stick and smear it on something. So I really like to use this lure to call animals into the area that I'm trying to trap. Sometimes I put it down the hole, and sometimes I'll just smear it on a tree nearby. That seems to get their attention. What I like to do is smear it on a tree nearby, get them in there, and then let my other baits, my other lures, work them into the hole. But it's important to constantly be checking your lures, checking your baits, and purchasing new things, because this is last year's Hellfire, and this is 2 years ago. I mean, just look at the difference in color. They do go bad. You know, they don't last forever, so you got to be paying attention to this kind of things. The best thing to do, store them in a cool, dry place. You don't have to, you know, put them in a refrigerator, but if you have a refrigerator to do that in, that's awesome. Another little tip, something I did, I started, probably the second year that I was trapping, I started to keep a notebook with all my traps. So I would name whatever my set location was, and I would name what kind of bait and what kind of lure I put down the hole or on the flat set. And I started noticing what was making catches and what wasn't making catches. And I've slowly migrated away from things that weren't working for me and migrated towards things that started to work for me. So, you know, when you start off and you're a beginner at this, it's gonna take a little while. Don't get stressed out. When it comes to coyotes, more importantly than what you're putting down the hole is what the set looks like, and if you have your trap bedded solid. We're going to talk about that in later episodes, but hopefully this was helpful for you. I just want to thank you guys so much again for watching this channel. Keep it going. Trapping season is coming. I'm starting to get excited, so I'll see you in the next one. God bless, tight chains, and I'll see you later.